What do you call yourself? First name Council. Last name Geeks. Middle name of. So, I'm back from vacation, and while I was on vacation, San Diego Comic-Con happened. Now, my original plan had been to do a video, do individual videos covering some of the trailers that came out that I really wanted to talk about. And then to do kind of a summary about all the other news snippets that weren't those trailers. That I'm scrapping. I'm still going to talk about trailers. There's three, well, there's four I'm going to talk about. You're getting 3 videos today. This one, later on, you'll get my thoughts on the Titans trailer, and then finally the Aquaman trailer. But first, oh, and I mean, the big one that people are expecting from me, the Doctor Who trailer, that's on Sunday, because that's when I normally tackle Doctor Who stuff, and I'm not doing 4 videos in a day. 3 is enough. So we're going to start with this one for Glass. I haven't talked about M. Night Shyamalan's films and my feelings on them on this channel before at all, I don't think. And I was there ground zero when The Sixth Sense hit. I was working in a movie theater when it hit. I got to see how the impact of that film reverberated through a crowd. So it was an impressive thing to see. Unbreakable, I think certainly at the time and for a long time was probably my own favorite movie of his. It's not that it hasn't held up, it's that a lot of what it did that was really innovative at the time no longer is. So it's more a case of the rest of pop culture movie making has caught up to it, and so it's not as unique as it used to be. And honestly, its uniqueness was a big part of the promise of Unbreakable. Now, I have seen Split, which... How cool was that? That was like secret pseudo sequel tie-in. Like that is how I wish we could get more sort of franchises built. This completely sneaky way. And I don't want to knock, DC and Marvel for making the big announcements and all that, but I mean, how cool was it to suddenly realize, holy crap, these things are interconnected, and then to realize we're going to get a film tying everything together. And I'm just going to throw this out there as well. If we're talking about folks from Shyamalan films who, appear to have extraordinary abilities that would be questioned by a psychiatrist, the boy from Sixth Sense, Haley Joel Osment's acting again in live action. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be shocked if he shows up. In any case, so Split... before I get into Glass, I did see Split. Split was really good. Now, I haven't seen every Shyamalan film. I haven't seen The Last Airbender. I haven't seen After Earth. So I haven't seen, I can't even, The Visit. I haven't seen, and that's more, I heard it was decent, but I don't really like found footage. I get motion sick from it. So I haven't seen a lot of his output recently. I did see him go off the cliff though, because I saw The Village, and I saw Lady in the Water, which I like a lot better than most people I know, but I still can't really defend it. So it was really nice to see Split and see the man back on his game with a high concept done with a level of borderline pretension that just sort of classes up the joint and makes it less exploitative than that sort of premise normally would be. And was such a vehicle for James McAvoy as a performer. It was phenomenal. So I really enjoyed the heck out of Split, and I thought its twist at the end, even before the reveal of connected universe stuff, was pretty neat in terms of how the survivor girl survived and why she did. I found that to be interesting. So, Glass. I love just about everything about this trailer. I love the look. I love the vibe. I love these actors. The thing with Shyamalan, he really does need to be paired with the right actors, because not everyone can take his words and make them work. He's a bit like George Lucas in that way, because like you compare, say, the original Star Wars film with the prequels, and you can see the actors, most of them, struggling to work with this script and this dialogue in the prequels, whereas he really kind of lucked out in that original Star Wars film because Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher could all make that stuff work, whereas Hayden Christensen, Natalie Portman, yeah, and a lot of the other actors in the prequels that kind of couldn't. So I think with Shyamalan, it's a similar thing. It's not a mark of the quality of the actors involved, because there are some very good actors who still can't wrap their. So I remember watching The Village, and Sigourney Weaver, God, every line she spoke, I felt like just behind her eyes she was silently screaming, "For the love of God, give me direction. I don't know how to work with this dialogue." That's what it felt like every time she says something. And that woman never gives a bad performance. She's amazing in everything, but oh my gosh, felt like I was watching an actor flounder. But Bruce Willis can work with Shyamalan. Samuel L. Jackson can work with Shyamalan. James McAvoy can work with Shyamalan. So the three of these guys together, and then, these are actors that can work with Shyamalan and work with his words. So that's a good sign right off the bat. I love the visual stylings. Is it overwrought? Hell yeah. But Shyamalan at his best tends to be overwrought. Have you seen the man's movies? So I'm loving all that. I love Sarah Paulson. I've discovered her as an actress on American Horror Story. So I'm loving that. I'm loving this whole sort of initial setup of trying to analyze these men, and then that realization, or maybe realization for the audience of maybe putting Mr. Glass in the same room as the guy who believes himself to be the Beast. Maybe that was a bad idea. And with what we saw of James McAvoy's characters really were physically capable of in Split, I think him taking on David Dunn from Unbreakable, that makes a lot of sense. And having it happen in a world that doesn't believe that these people are what they are is an interesting twist, because what we usually get in any sort of superhero thing that is ongoing, if we'll get things like Batman, Daredevil, where it's really just a guy who's really skilled at what he does, but superhero, I mean, I know Daredevil a little bit, but like clear-cut superpowers, not so much. So in those cases, like, people might be somewhat denying, but whenever you've got something like clear superpowers, like Dunn has, like whatever name you want to use for all the characters that James McAvoy plays have, usually what then happens in those worlds when you do that narrative is the world is now changed because we know these people exist. So to continue to have their existence be denied, even though we as the audience will know that it's all real, is kind of interesting, because it allows it to remain in the shadows, in the background, in the underground, when normally you would think it would be more out and open by a third film in a trilogy, effectively. And so I find that really interesting. I love the menace that we're getting from, from Samuel L. Jackson especially, but also, some of the performances from James McAvoy. God, I'm so looking for... there was a shot of him in Split where he changed character in camera and everything changed. The posture, the cadence, the tone of the voice, the way he worked his way through sentences, absolutely everything. And so, and even before he opened his mouth, just his posture changing, you felt like in this one shot, you watched the one character exit and another one enter, and it was awesome. I'm so looking forward to him getting back into this character again. And the Survivor girl from Split is back as well, which I will be very curious how that would, because she was quite good. Some of the other girls in that movie were a little, but she was good. She was solid. I can't remember the last time I could say that I was genuinely excited to see a Shyamalan film. I'm often curious. Morbid curiosity, led me to eventually seek out The Happening. But I'm rarely excited. I'm excited by this. Which may inevitably lead to disappointment. But right now, I think I'm just going to watch the trailer again and just smile. So that's it for this one. Later today, I'll have my thoughts out on the Titans trailer and also the Aquaman trailer. And then tomorrow, tune in for me to talk about the Doctor Who trailer. I know there's other stuff besides the trailer to talk about. Those will be in separate videos at later dates. I'm really trying not to do these pile-ups of multiple videos in a day, but if I don't do this sort of 3-video dump on this day, then I'm just going to be backed up for weeks. So that's what happens. So, trailer for Glass. What do you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. There's all the stuff to do. You know what it is. Patreon's the big one, but you know what? I've got links for a bunch of other stuff that's related to me. It's all down in the description. Take a look if you care. And until next time, this council is adjourned.